Hello everyone. We present study of mixed social world on the social world of virtual and real world. We are from National Taisheng University of Science and Technology. In recent years, the development of virtual reality has become more popular in education, entertainment, design, and real-life applications with simultaneous localization and mapping. In addition to high-risk and high-cost simulation training, it is also applied to games and teaching activities to make the game experience and course learning more interesting and realistic. However, what people see in virtual reality is unreal, non-existent and cannot be touched. This kind of experience only achieves a sense of presence through the dynamic visual effect of fake scenes, but lacks the feeling of touch. To make the user's experience more realistic, augmented reality (AR) has been developed as an extension of virtual reality. What the users see through the device are objects and animations of the real scene but do not exist in reality, so that the user's experience may be more realistic. However, it is still impossible to touch such objects that do not exist in reality. As Mandian et al. Made virtual and non-existent objects corresponding to real objects by using the rotations of the virtual world and the rotation of the tester's virtual body respectively. The tester can get the real cube through the virtual picture seen through the headset he wears to increase the feeling of touch. Most 3D real-time modeling studies are used for indoor positioning. For example, Jury et al. And Jian et al. 3 used Google's Project Tango 3D real-time modeling to optimize indoor positioning. Jeffrey et al. 4 used the in-depth detection technology of Google's Project Tango to remind visually impaired people of obstacles in front of them, and by voice tell them how to avoid the obstacles. The current 3D real-time modeling applications based on Google's Project Tango technology are more suitable for the modeling of static scenes and objects, and are less desirable for the processing of dynamic scenes and objects. Especially for newly entering and living objects, they cannot be immediately modeled and the original images cannot be immediately erased. The speed of modeling for entering objects is slightly delayed, and residual images will remain in the original model after the objects are gone, and the images can hardly be erased completely. This will affect the user experience. For the part of the scene which is updated, the study of Jian, J.G.M. Kim, San, et al. Captures and compares the 3D model of the changes and updates the database accordingly. This study only focused on the update of the scene, but did not perform any update for entering and living objects. To allow users to experience more real-time interaction between virtual reality and reality, the Zenfone AR smartphone that supports Google's Project Tango was used in this study for the 3D real-time modeling technology. This study focused on the following aspects. Determine whether there is any object entering or leaving based on the amount of change in the average depth of the point cloud captured by the depth camera. If there is, refresh the 3D real-time modeling to avoid any residual image. Allow users to accurately capture real-life objects through the 3D real-time modeling screen of the mobile phone. This study only explored the scanning improvement of 3D real-time modeling for dynamic objects, so there was no need to explore whether the position of object for the 3D real-time modeling corresponds to the position of the actual object or not. The scope and limitations of this study could be divided into 4 parts: mobile device, head movement, scene size and depth camera. Zenfone AR, the world's first 5.7-inch smartphone, which uses Google's Project Tango system and supports Daydream, was used in this study. This smartphone is equipped with 3 cameras: Tricam, system dynamic tracking lens, fisheye camera, depth sensing lens, infrared, and 23 million pixel high resolution camera lens. During the test, the hand-held cardboard, lensless cardboard, with a built-in Zenfone AR smartphone was operated through the screen of the Zenfone AR smartphone. The movement and shaking caused by hand holding may affect the calculation of the average depth of the point cloud, and the entry of an object may be incorrectly judged. Therefore, in this study, the effects of movement and shaking were eliminated, and the fixed direction and position of the cardboard were maintained as much as possible during the experiment by eliminating any movement or rotation of the cardboard. In this study, the calculation of the average depth of the point cloud limited the fixed direction and position. Therefore, the operator's head must also be fixed without any movement or rotation, and only slight shaking could be accepted. After several tests of the depth camera's detection range, it was found that if the distance between the scanned object and the depth camera was too short, the point cloud of the object could not be scanned and the hand displayed a white pointless cloud. This also caused an error in the calculation of the average depth of the point cloud. The average depth of the point cloud was calculated by using the sum of the z-axis values of all scanned point cloud to be divided by the number of all scanned point clouds. If a newly entered object cannot be scanned, then the point cloud of the original scene of the newly entered object is also blocked from being scanned, and the blocked portion is usually a point cloud in a closer location. Therefore, among the point clouds of the average depth calculation, the samples of point clouds in closer locations decrease, and the average depth value thus become larger. However, in fact, when there is a new close by object entering, the average depth should become smaller. This study was to discuss the optimization of Google's Project Tango's real-time modeling. The change in the average depth of point clouds is used to judge the entry or exit of objects, in order to refresh objects at the scene and remove the residual image. Taking the hand as an example, the user can see the relative position of his hand in the real-time modeling and the object to be fetched, and accurately fetch the object. The research structure was roughly divided into 6 major items, namely the purpose of research, literature review, development programs and tools, running the programs, experiment results and analysis, and conclusion. The goal of the study was to improve the real-time modeling of Google's Project Tango, so as to allow the user to have a better experience with real-time modeling. Through literature review, the technology of Google's Project Tango was understood, and ways to help improve optimization and their limitations were explored. Available equipment and development tools were further selected, the programs provided by Google were studied, and 2 of them that may help this study were selected for improvement and optimization. The running of programs can be divided into raising the mapping resolution of the mapping program in order to identify the appearance of the object, and refreshing the point cloud program calculation of the point cloud average depth, the threshold setting and the scene so as to have them combined into the mapping program. Finally, through experiments, the error of fetching the object and returning it to the specified position was observed to evaluate whether the effect of this improvement and optimization study meets the research purpose, and thus obtaining the conclusion of this research. In this research, Google's Project Tango technology was used to make Sandy real-time modeling and improve its refresh rate. Taking the hand as an example, the user takes his hand in the Sandy modeling scene through the Sandy modeled image to accurately capture the object in the scene. The device needed to be smartphones that support Google's Project Tango technology, and the development programming language was selected from API, C C++, Java and SDK, Unity Sandy provided by Google's Project Tango. Smartphones that support Google's Project Tango technology. There are only 2 smartphones at the moment that support this technology. One is the Lenovo Phab 2 Pro, which was launched in November 2016, and the other is Asus Zenfone AR, which was launched in June 2017. In this study, Asus Zenfone AR was used. This study was based on Google's Project Tango technology to optimize Sandy real-time modeling. Therefore, the Shizan features of the Unity Sandy program provided by Google were referred to, and 2 programs related to this research, Point Cloud and Experimental Mesh Builder with Color, were selected as the basis for optimization. The Point Cloud program scans.
That's all. Thank you for your listening.